friends, and welcome back to my channel. I think y'all are really going to love today's video. We have got a ton of work to do. I need to run by my booths. I've got a few things to restock there, and I did go thrifting and garage sailing. I'll show you my haul and what I'm going to do with the items. Now, if you are new here, make sure you hit that little subscribe button down in the corner and the bell next to it. Click that to all and YouTube will let you know every time I upload a new video. All right, let's go get started. This is what I like to call the death pile. This is a pile of nice items that have been sitting in the corner of my office being ignored. So today I'm going to sort through them. We're going to get a few things painted up and ready to sell. I have had this wooden sign for probably a year. I know. It used to say like Pinot Grigio. It was black wood with white lettering. I had painted over it with a base of apiary. It looks like I blended in a little something else. But I am going to use JRV Decoupage Paper. This is the Poulet Poulet. And we are going to give this a nice farmhouse French country makeover. I begin by tracing out the shape of my sign, cut that out with some scissors, and it's time to decoupage. I'm using DIY liquid patina as my decoupage medium. This product can be used as a transfer gel, a decoupage medium, and a top coat. It is a very versatile product. I'm going to apply it liberally over the entire surface of the sign and place my decoupage paper right on top. Working from the middle outwards, I press the paper down and then I will use my IOD brayer to smooth out any wrinkles. Once all the wrinkles are out, I go back over with another layer of liquid patina. Once the piece is dry, I'll sand in a downwards motion with a sanding block to remove the excess paper. Then up by all the details, I grabbed an X-Acto knife and I'll just clean up these edges before sanding the entire piece to give it a little bit of distressing. I use a little DIY clear wax to seal up the paint up on the pretty metal. And here is a look at this piece completed. I just love the way it turned out. What about you? Leave me a comment down below. And don't forget, you can find JRV Decoupage Paper and all of the products I'm using on my website, upcycledbybri.com. I will leave that down in the description box as well. Next up, I've got a few cute little items I am going to paint with DIY Prairie Gray and white wax. DIY paint is super pigmented, so just 2 coats covered these ceramics beautifully, and now we will use a chip brush and lightly apply some white wax. I love the finish that it gives these pieces such a great update. What do you think? Leave me a comment below. Next up, 2 more things that have been sitting in the corner and they are gorgeous. They need to get painted. I'm going to paint these 2 items in DIY Apothecary and then a little bit of white wax. Before waxing, I am going to wet distress these beautiful sconces. I'm using a wet towel and just wiping back the paint where I want to reveal a little of that original color. Since DIY paint is water soluble, you can wet distress it with a rag before it's sealed. I'm applying clear wax to the sconces first to act as a bit of a barrier. That will help me control the white wax when I apply it. Using the same chip brush, I'm applying the white wax over these pieces. The piece in the front has been white waxed and the piece in the back has not. Leave me a comment below, which look do you prefer? I will be keeping these. I have hung them up in their permanent home here in my living room. The adorable dictionary prints from last week sold, so I added these in as a special touch instead. So this is the corner of the room where things go to die. This is what we call the death pile. But now this pile is very small and manageable. I've got a fun DIY with these coming up next week. Everything else that didn't get painted just needed tagged and taken up to my booth. So I went ahead and did that. I'm going to swing you by my booths real quick and show you how I do a little bit of color blocking. I have two booth locations. This is my Adams location. So you can see I love color and I incorporate lots of color into my booth. But I do a little bit of color blocking. So as you can tell in this front vignette, I have it themed towards Father's Day items. I've got a lot of teal, but also I incorporate white into each vignette to keep the looks cohesive. This second vignette has a lot of forest green colors, copper, but again, a piece of white furniture and pops of white floral. Here is my Topeka location. You see the green carried over into this store, that cottagecore look with natural woods. And then here in the middle, more white. I added a lot of blue items and I kept them all in one small section to keep the eye from being overwhelmed. So the sun is trying to peek out and I have a few more flowers to plant, but I want to at least show you guys my garage sale stuff, and then next Thursday I promise I will show you all of those thrift haul items that were on the table. Sorry, don't mean to tease you. I haven't been doing a lot of garage sailing because it's been so rainy in Kansas. You can see how I feel about that. But there was one that was half off, and so I did go buy all of these prices, take 50% off. I have been a sucker for false craft lately, and I don't really know why. I love this white and blue print. 75 cents and $1. Half off of those. Macy's trying to make a nest in the carpet. So I already have some of this print in my booth, and of course having a collection is always nice. This one didn't have any markings on it, nor a price tag, so I think she charged me like $0.25 or 50 cents. Leave me a comment below if you know what this is, but it's birds and I just loved that print. This was interesting. It's a book holder, like a sliding bookends. Bunny's kind of cute, crazy eye, right? And then the duck's kind of cute, crazy eye bow, but it will get a makeover. And I thought this would be really sweet for cookbooks, but of course it would be great for any books. So we'll give it a good paint job, stencil something fun on it. That will be a nice makeover. This one also was not priced. I think probably around $1. As we're getting closer to the 4th of July, I've been picking up just a few red and blue items. I tend to lean more towards the primitive 4th of July stuff. This one looks to be green, but this is a Petersboro basket. 1854, made in the USA. I don't really know anything about them. I've heard of Longaberger, but not Petersboro. but I thought that was a nice constructed basket. It was $2, half off made it $1. Next up, I always grab pretty frames when I see them, especially in this size. This one is a really nice matted, maybe a watercolor, I'm not sure. RJ Carr's Family Bookstore. That was a bookstore here in Topeka that is no longer. $37. Wild, right? The Robert Spooner Gallery is what this print is. Oh, 214 out of, maybe I'll look that up before I tear it apart. I just got it. I was going to tear it apart and use the frame. Pictures and stuff were $1 or 50 cents. This was a little granite slab. A quarter she charged me for it. It does hang. So I figured I could either make this into like a chalk art decor, or I think it's actually like a functioning board. Set of 8 for $2, so I paid $1 for 8 of these. Hampton Direct Incorporated, made in China, so they're nothing special. But what got me is actually the baskets. You think one little basket is cute? How cute is 8? Oh my goodness. What are we gonna do with these? I don't know, but it will be cute. I also now have 8 decorative serving dishes. Frame. It was like 10 cents or something in a box. They just had boxes full of randomness. This is also a false graph, and it's a cute little hanging wall pocket. I do believe it's scratched up, but honestly I thought I would paint over it for 50 cents and make it a more modern wall pocket. That will be very cute. Quarter I paid for this. Pretty yellow picture. I don't see anything on the bottom, but I love that yellow color. It reminds me of DIY cake batter. 2 baskets. These are great wall baskets, not too deep. Not too deep, you know, so they don't stick out too far. This sale had a ton of this pottery, which has no markings. Oh, BBP 96. So I guess they're handmade pieces. I don't know. I just really love that blue. Gorgeous, right? So I've got a ton of that blue going in my booth right now. It's never too early. Oh, that one works. Never too early to start thinking about Christmas when you're a reseller. So I have started thinking about Christmas. These little lantern houses. I don't know. She didn't charge me much for them. I'm terrible about pricing at this one. I can't remember even what the total was. $40 or something for everything. I've got another basket over there, so stuff was inexpensive. Here's a snowman mold. And even if people don't use it, that would be cute in a little kitchen vignette. This wire basket was 50 cents. I do remember there being a $1 sticker on it. It needs a good cleaning, but those are really good for staging canning jars in my booth. Here is a birdhouse of sorts. This amber glass with the little vintage natural floral stole my heart. It wasn't marked either, so maybe a quarter on it. I grabbed this fragrance oil, not for the fragrance oil, but for the brown jar. So I paid what, like 10 cents for it or whatever, and I clean it all up and put some floral in it, and I can sell that in my booth for like $2.95. So don't overlook things like that. I also got this beautiful Jobelin made in West Germany. I know nothing about linen, so if somebody else knows something about this, leave me a comment below, please. But it's a tablecloth, I do believe, and I do plan on keeping this. But I just loved that print on it. I don't know why I've been such a sucker for blue and white together lately as a combo, if you haven't noticed the trend. And this was the last day of their sale, so people aren't looking for what I'm looking for. This obviously needs cleaned up. I've got some gross situations happening on it, but I'm going to keep, I think the handles are fine. Keep it as original as possible because it does have some good patina, but it's got some grossness too. It was marked $1.50. I got it for 75 cents. It's a good one. This I've got to be very careful with, but it's a Webster's Handy Dictionary. I got it for 50 cents and it is most definitely falling apart. But look how cool those pages are. I want to make mini prints with it, but I'm not going to take it apart. I'm going to keep this one, put it in my personal collection of neat old books. Vintage Christmas decoration. I think it was like 10 cents. I'll clean it up, save it for Christmas. Then this Santa bank. It's got a marking here on the bottom. I have not dove into the vintage Christmas before, but I am kind of loving it when I see other people doing it. So I figured for $2.50, we would give him a try. End with a basket. This is a good sturdy basket. Ooh, it needs cleaned up. Get it away from my face. Good sturdy basket with a good handle. I like how flat it is, but the circumference is big, so it fit lots of good junk in it. All right, I'm going to go outside and see if I can get the last couple of plants into some hanging baskets, and I will be back next week. I have some fun things coming up. I've got a great collab coming up on Tuesday. I promise I will show you all of that awesome junk from the table on Thursday. And then on Sunday, I will show you how I fixed the nightstands in the bedroom. I promise I didn't burn them. That chippy milk paint was all falling off, but I fixed it. I did. Let me show you a sneak peek to end out today's video. Again, if you're new, be sure to subscribe. Hit the like button if you like these thrift hauls and thrift flips, and be sure to share this video with a friend. So much room for activities.